we get hit with it. We have to lay there and we can't get up.
Wait, what? Shouted? What shouted? Shouted what? So you said what? Shouted? Man, what? Who the fuck? All right, let's see what's going on today, man. What we got, man? What news we got, man? Away to Flacco.
Saga that is the spawn of Satan, TK, is finally over. He overcooked him like some ramen. I wasn't surprised for one. I mean,
Dang.
look at it, bro.
Well, that nigga done grew up. I ain't look at him. I remember young take when he was on who doing the right. Yeah, he was young at that nigga. Yeah.
I'm not talking
Goofy looking
color.
though.
I'm talking archetype. Looks like he's an evil villain in a Nickelodeon.
Big ass
If
head.
you get Nickelodeon movie, overactions like God, little twerp.
This nigga Flacco don't never brush your hair. Just get up. He just record. I remember this nigga had his shirt off back one day. I was like, bro, this nigga right here.
17-year-old Tamor McIntyre has been arrested in New Jersey by the U.S. Marshal Service. He's been being held there pending his extradition back here to Texas. McIntyre, who's from Arlington, is suspected in a capital murder case and had been described as a violent fugitive. He's been the subject of a nationwide manhunt. New at 6, video of teen rapper Tay-K as police question him about his role in a deadly home invasion in Mansfield. The video was shown to the jury this afternoon in Tamor McIntyre's capital murder trial. Jason Allen is live inside the Tim Curry Criminal Justice Center in Fort Worth with the details. Jason?
And Gilma, the doors of the court are just cracking open here behind me. It looks like they have just finished up for the evening. The jury today, not only in that video, heard Tamor McIntyre admit to being part of this crime when it happened. They also heard from a man who was shot that night and survived. This video from almost 3 years ago shows a 16-year-old Tamor McIntyre in a small room with police, uncomfortable, wiping his eyes at times, and finally admitting to investigators he played a role in a home invasion and murder in Mansfield.
Horrible on all levels. He went out completely sad. To regular people, he's deplorable because he's a murderer. And to the street dudes, he's deplorable because he's a rat. He told, right? But when he got arrested, he tried to play the I was just a kid officer. I was just a part of the home invasion that led to a murder. I don't know what I was doing. I was scared. And then he told on everybody involved. And then officers realized you aren't just a kid involved in this. You aren't just some type of innocent dude. No. Because we got you on camera committing another homicide. This time you were the shooter.
He was excited. His passion was photography. His passion was taking photographs and wanted to make that his career. He was young. He was just 20 years old. Tamor McIntyre was almost 17 years old. He was an up-and-coming rapper that contacted Mark about this photo shoot. And when Tamor came over to pick up Mark from his house, at his mother's house, Mark went outside with his backpack and his camera, very definable white type camera, ran off to this car down the street, a black Kia. Little did he know who was getting into that car, and that would be falling off that car later on, shot by this individual that's sitting right over there.
They had ballistics, they had surveillance, they had 4K surveillance. The girlfriend who was there with TK, she testified. Overcooked guilty. Eventually, he was found guilty. But it's the post-conviction antics that...
Hey, man, and it never fails, man. This drill rap, these drill rappers, man, this shit has got out of hand. The world ain't never been like this in the black community. Like, with just all this killing going on that we know about. You get what I'm saying? Like, this shit is glorified now. This shit is, man, it's praised now. People praise this shit, bro. Like, this shit ain't. You gonna lose at the end of the day, bro. You gonna lose now. Just check it out. Look what's going on.
Are literally insane. So, first off, at the guilty verdict, right? His family initially thought that he got off scotch-free, and they began to make noise thinking Jesus in a court of law before hearing out the full judgment.
Wait a minute. What? Hold on. What?
See all this photo shoots,
Hold on.
travel,
Let me see.
freedom. Most people think you need millions of followers to live like this, but that's not reality.
All right, it's the court's understanding from the deputy that a verdict has been reached in this case. This is what I'm going to tell all the parties who are present in this courtroom. There's not to be any outbursts. If there's an outburst, what's going to end up happening is a deputy is going to tap you on the shoulder. There's no need to get into a conversation with the deputy. That tap on the shoulder is meaning that you are to leave this courtroom, and you will only be allowed back in this courtroom if you're going to be a witness. Does everyone understand? Is there anyone who cannot do that? So, both parties for the state and the defense, if you need to talk to members who are currently in court that are either with the state or defense, you may do so now. Otherwise, I'm going to bring the jury in.
Everyone knows to be on their best behavior, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring the jurors in.
All right, the jury.
Man, it's sad, bro. Nah, I can't say it's sad. This what you want to do. Nah, I can't say it's sad, but it's sad hearing and just keep seeing this shit. But this what he want to do. So I can't be sad about that though. I ain't sad about that.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my understanding that you've reached a verdict in this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is that verdict unanimous?
Yes.
All right, if you will give the verdict form to Deputy Laura, please. Thank you. All right, if the defendant could please stand. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, not guilty of the offense of capital murder. What did I... Excuse me.
Nick. Wait. Oh, what the heck? Bro, she just gave a whole goddamn statement about that shit, boy. What the fuck? But I see the white boy jump though, so I don't know who in here. Let me see what's going on. That must have been his friend.
Room now.
Yes.
All right.
That was TK's family making that noise in that opener.
That white boy,
They thought for a second God's favor was shining
Two more
upon
people,
this
two
phone
more
of Satan,
people.
but that's the furthest thing from the truth. He was celebrating
Or
too
united.
early.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if
United.
nobody told him, but there's actually two charges. Capital murder and regular murder. So capital murder has a lot of aggravating factors. You can look it up. Murder
All
is
in agreement type shit.
is
Okay.
clemency.
For sure,
Okay.
for sure.
So 10K gets found not guilty of capital murder, which means he's not gonna get the death penalty, which is I mean, to be honest, I think that's like an easy let out, bro. I want somebody to spend 100 years in jail. I don't want them to take the easy way out. So he eventually gets found guilty of actual murder because he did it. It's in 4K. There's no doubt that TK did this. And the fact that his family is celebrating this, which, I mean, yeah, that's your family, cool, but you have to love people to an extent. You have to love people to a degree. Knowing this person did this and still celebrating thinking he got off, to me is just insane. And this is the madness that permeates through our communities that creates villains like TK.
Sometimes, as you can tell, people are invested, correct? So it says, we, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, not guilty of the offense of capital murder as charged in the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, guilty of the lesser included offense of murder. Does anyone wish to have the jury polled?
Boy, I know his.
Yes, sir.
I know
Ladies
his.
and gentlemen,
I know his damn heart dropped in his ass He been sitting for how long? How long he been sitting in jail? I wonder what NW how you say YNW Melly shit gonna go like. 'Cause he been sitting riding it out.
Do you want the poll's vote counts? All right, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you if
Let's look at the face of TK here. And if you are not watching the video, you're watching the audio, I will break it down for you. But this is the face of where bad decisions get you. He's sulking. He's staring into space, looking.
Hey man, you do the crime, you do the time. You know, I really don't know too much about it, but
Can't even be imagine.
damn, that's all I can say. Damn.
Essentially going to die in a jail cell.
Well, you gotta think about it. He get a free meal. He get somewhere to sleep, somewhere to eat. Shit, he just can't, leave when he want to. He just gotta be under supervision. That ain't bad. That ain't too bad. You gotta worry about the outside.
When I have
He got its pros and cons.
when I have millions of dollars, I have fame, I have the baddest women in the world waiting for me to crack when I come home. But instead, I'm gonna be around a bunch of
I don't even think he couldn't even get a
all my life.
bun.
The second phase of this trial that she's referring to is the sentencing. Now, the sentencing to me is even more hilarious, okay? So his sister decided that she was going to testify on his behalf to get him the lesser sentence. So she took the stand, and their reasoning for why TK came out being a deplorable spawn of Satan that we know him to be, their reasoning to me is hilarious. And it's laughable.
His punishments were too big for like the thing. Like if we got bad grades, then we would be punished. Like he would. It started off by maybe the whoopings got worse and worser, and then now it's not a belt. Now it's a 2x4. And we get a certain number of hits, and we get hit with it. We have to lay there, and we can't get up.
Wait, what? Shouted? What? Shouted? What? So you what? Shouted? Man, what? Who the fuck let this girl get up here and speak that testimony? First of all, I'm pretty sure murder and punishment. Yeah. Murder and discipline, that type of discipline, I'm pretty sure that don't equal to what's going on here, man. This man took somebody's life. Yeah. Took somebody's life. How you just gonna say a butt whipping to a murder is the same? Even though they both sins. Well, it might be a sin for both ways or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But still, though, ain't no sin big enough. But still, though, how you just gonna compare that to that? How you sound? How she look? The fuck? But yeah, man, come on, man, you can't be doing that. The fuck?
And it was
That
times when
sound slow.
Taylor was younger than me, so
Bitch, you better not start. Bitch, you better not start fucking crying,
Taylor
ho.
was younger than me, and he would cry, and just maybe they would think he was over dramatic, so they would tie him down to an ironing board, strap him down, like stuff like that.
Can you please just hear me out? No, all work management platforms are the same.
What
They
you-
take forever to learn, and in the end,
I am lawful.
We don't care. Now, I do want to clarify something. Other siblings, unfortunately, we shouldn't have to go through that. But in regards to TK, he don't care. And this is not a good excuse for him to get off scotch free, right? Or to get some type of slap on their wrist. Bruh, there are kids who grew up with hard parents all the time. Parents who are disciplinarians all the time. There are kids who get brutal beatings all the time.
And I'm
Those kids don't.
I'm pretty sure TK, if TK could get beat by a 2x4 or slapped on the head or whooped all day with with a belt or something, I'm pretty sure he would take that for going to jail. I'm pretty sure he would take that now. He ain't 2 times now. He beat 1 time, Flacco. He beat 1 charge.
Beef with his enemies and acting revenge on enemies, cool. Well, all of TK crimes involved people who did nothing to him. Who only crimes against TK was they existed. TK beat up an old man in the park. He ain't do nothing to him. TK murdered a photographer. Ain't do nothing to him. TK did a home evasion, set somebody up. They passed away. Ain't do nothing to him. So no, getting whoopings as a kid or having parents who was tougher than most, that's not a good excuse, man, at all. He deserves to die in prison.
You said that these were
Ain't gonna Flacco.
disciplining
Flacco ain't bullshit.
or things to the house.
Maybe bad grades. Maybe like, yeah, just bad grades and stuff like that. We weren't bad kids to be doing any, like going and doing anything we didn't have any business. We were too young and we moved around a lot to know what's going on in our outside world. We were just learning. So it would be stuff like bad grades and stuff like.
She's saying the same thing.
Any signs that you were being hurt this way? Things that other people would notice?
Yes.
Give me some examples.
Bruises, busted lips, noses. People have witnessed before.
Did any of these things ever come to the attention of your teachers or other adults outside your house?
Tamar's teacher noticed.
Okay. What happened? She noticed.
I wasn't there the exact moment. A certain teacher took maybe noticed Tamar and built a relationship with him. And one day, he had some type of bruising or something on his face. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a black eye or what, but
that bitch getting me tight.
The teacher ended up asking him, and he ended up being honest with her. And the school intervened, and they called our dad and our stepmom. Our stepmom came to the school, and they ended up talking to us, saying that we can't have any contact with our dad, and they just released us to her the same day.
Okay, but she was living in the same house as your dad? Or
yes.
All that hooting and hollering, no accountability, and pity stories didn't work with that judge, bro.
You just tell her what's going on.
Having her give a pity story was going to not hold him accountable. It worked out one bit. All right, that judge looked TK in his eyes, pulled out her gavel, bro, and she said 80 years. She said 80 years. 80 years. Right? That's your natural life, bro. You ain't never coming out.
Mr. McIntyre, I want you to know that I listened to all of the evidence and impeachment. And thought about whether or not your sentence should be stacked. I don't know where your mom is. Don't know where your father is. I know that you had a rough childhood.
Dang.
And I do know that these offenses occurred when you were very young. And I understand the state of the law, what people consider an adult. I listened to the testimony of the expert that was brought by defense counsel. You've already been sentenced to murder in the other county, and then you have a murder here. And the sentence for 55 years, that's a stiff sentence. This 80-year sentence is a stiff sentence. And these are cases where you have to serve half your time, and that's day for day time. And I recognize that. Hopefully you will grow, but based upon his age.
Oh, man. Damn. He got murdered in one city. He got murdered in another city. Boy, I don't know what to say, boy. That's just crazy, man. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Shouldn't have did the race, twin.